welcome back or welcome to my channel. Here we are doing another scrapbook. Now this is the Zoo Tours. Now it's going to be a long one. So today is it's the 6th of December 2025 and it's all the zoos that I've gone to so far. The book isn't quite finished yet. So there are zoos that I'm going to go to beginning of next year. So I'm waiting essentially to go to them before finishing it completely. So when I have done it completely, I'll just do a little bit of a recording from the end bit later down the track. So let's start. These are the zoos that I've gone to so far. So here we have a couple of tags here, and this is actually an envelope. It's such a weird envelope. It opens up from the top there. I reckon that was pretty cool. Little writing paper here. These have got pockets as well, which I made use out of this as well. So this pretty much represents like touring around country and that. To start off with, these are the photos I took from the Australian Zoo. Sorry about that, I just had to pause it for a second. Right, so this is the Australia Zoo, so these photos that you're going to see, I haven't printed them up on the proper, they're just on paper because I didn't get time to go to office work, so they might look a bit funny. Okay, so this one here was the first snake you saw in the video. If you haven't watched the videos of the Australian Zoo, go check them out. They're pretty cool. So we've got a turtle. These two alligators here were actually going around in a circle, like dancing around. So I thought that was pretty cool. We've got a kangaroo, koala. This is actually a female version of the cassowary. So that's the male version of the cassowary, and that's the female. She's more of a brown sort of colour, whereas he's got the blue and the red on the head and jet black. This one here is a dingo, and there he is again. He was pacing up and down, going along the fence line there. Here we have three rhinos. And on this one here, he got closer to the fence. One thing I didn't really like about Australia Zoo, well, besides who owns it, but you don't really, the animals aren't like close up. Like these ones here, these were photos that I had to zoom in on because the animals don't get as close as they should, and there's a big gap between like the fence and their paddock or their area, so there's a big gap there, which I found, I mean they've got all that space, they could bring it closer to the fence. So most of these photos here are all zoomed in, which is a shame, but yeah. So we've got zebras up here. Along the fence here, there's lemurs. We've got an elephant here going for a swim. This one here, there's actually an apple right there. I don't know if you can see it, but I actually got the photo just as the guy threw the apple at the elephant. I thought that was pretty cool. And these are just little random cards. There's the envelope pockets there. Right, so this one was the one that had the apple thrown in his mouth. This is the mum. He was actually calling her to come down into the water, being very vocal about it too. This one here is they started walking down along the fence line with me, and if you've seen the video, you'll see what I mean. If you haven't, go check it out. So we got the only bird of prey apparently they had there. Here is a little red panda there. It's a little hard to see, but it's right there. We have an echidna down here in the bottom here. Kangaroo, a wallaby. I think that's a rock wallaby. And a couple of koalas. These three here, down here, are the tiger. And the story behind this is that the tiger himself is actually blind, 100% blind. They had to operate, and they couldn't save his eyes. So he walks around. He knows his little spot here really well. So they put meats down there. There's a piece of chicken there, and there was one there, and this is him getting ready before he went looking for it. And this one here, you can make out a snake right there and there. That's actually a death adder. We have another snake here. This one here at the bottom here is the rattlesnake. This one up here is king cobra. And as I was printing out, I don't know what happened, but it kind of looks cool. It kind of looks like it started to age. But this is a crocodile. They've got a massive crocodile in their pen. Oops. So that's the size of the crocodile here. That's the same one as before. Right. You can see two heads. Oh, you see two heads here. That one there and there. They're actually two alligators in there. And you can see how easy they blend in. Up here we've got a echidna. No, sorry. Chameleon, I think it is. And this dude here, he was so cheeky. He was up on the railing and he posed for me as I was coming up to him. Right, so that was Australia Zoo. That was the better photos that I took. I did take a lot of photos, but they're the ones that I liked more. So now we're going into Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. This is where I was feeding all the lorikeets. There is a short video in the shorts of me feeding them. So these are the pictures that I took. These are the ones I've actually printed out as well, because I really like that one. And there were so many of them. So these photos now are from Currumbin. So we've got a magpie geese up here, or goose, a duck, and there is a turtle right there in the water there. This up here, it's probably a little bit hard to see, but it's actually a bilby. And then the corner one here is the dingo. And I just sort of added some more flowers, pictures of zoo animals. And here we got a couple of kangaroos. Here and here. He was actually eating stuff out of here, and same that's down here. On this side we've got a couple of ducks here, just chilling out. Okay. Right, we've got the kookaburra here. He was just sitting on the railing here, and I was able to get so close to him to get these really good photos. Yeah. And as I was printing these ones out, they started to go funny. Again, it looks like they're old um, photos. And I've got like sayings like "Don't forget to fly," "Live gently," and other sayings around. This one here on this left-hand side, the alligator. There was a window just sort of here, and he came right up and to say hello to me. So I thought that was pretty cool. Right, so now we're on to Lone Pine. This is actually the front bit of Lone Pine just before you go through the gates. Okay, so we have a rock wallaby here. I love this photo. It looks like he's about to come and jump into my arms. How cool is that? Again, I've got sayings here and here, and then a couple more up there. So the ones on the right hand side are rock wallabies. Yeah, this one down here in the bottom is me feeding the kangaroos. A couple of kangaroos there. There's another one that I was patting a little bit after this one, and then we got a kookaburra here in the cage. So on the left hand side up the top is a wombat. We've got more koalas here. These two, even though they look like they're the same, they're two different koalas, and then we've got the one sitting in a tree. More koalas. More other stickers with animals. Okay, you've got more koalas. This one here on the left, he moved just as I took the photo. That's why half of his face is off. This one here, that one and this one here are the same. He was walking towards the tree here, and then there was another one in with him up in the tree there. Okay, we got a couple of black cockatoos here. Trying to position this so you can see all of it. And there's another koala here. We've got a gaur and a cockatoo there. That's the self-impressive cockatoo. They're black cockatoos. And we got emus here on the left, this side, these two, and that one. That one I think is a stork. I couldn't get a proper photo of him, but yeah. And saw these guys here. It's a family of ducks and their little ducklings there. We have a pelican there, a parrot there, and then the top one up here is an eagle, ridge-tailed eagle. Okay, so we got crocodiles there, and we got saltwater and freshwater here. These might be a little bit hard to see, but there is wombats there. See that one? Maybe not so much. Open, sort of. There's two wombats in the holes. And then up the top here is a tabby devil. And then you can see it's sort of there as well. But that one I thought it was really cool because you wouldn't normally see tabby devils out in the day. and he actually came over towards me, and that's how I was able to get that photo. Okay, so in the bottom left hand side is a snake here. It's a red belly drinking out of this little pond thing here. Then we've got a lorikeet up on the top. On the right hand side, the top one is an owl, and I love this photo here. Photo. This one here, I caught that in mid-flight as he took off from that log. They do a raptor show at Lone Pine. I think they do one at Currumbin too, but I caught the one at Lone Pine, and they were showing all these birds like the owls, the wedge-tailed eagle, the hawks. There's like about 4 or 5 birds that they show, and they go from one log to their owner or trainer, and then they fly over people's heads, and it's a really good show. And this one here, he'd flown from his handler to the log, and then they called him back. So as he had just taken off from the log is where I got that shot from, and I absolutely love that shot. I think it came out really well. So just on that shot alone, give a thumbs up, because I actually did that with my old phone. And now with my new phone, or new-ish, it would have come out even better. So we've got on the left hand side, donkeys or jackasses, whatever you want to call them. There's the wedge-tailed eagle. We have a koala, and this is me petting the koala. The fur is so soft and it's so nice. And yeah, this was just after the other photo of the koala. No, it's just after that one. So, I thought that was pretty cool. And these ones here are not from a zoo, but they're from the Lamington National Park up at O'Reilly's. So these birds were so cheeky. You can go up there and I'm just trying to move it so you can see all of it. You can go up there and you can feed the birds. I think it's twice a day. If you've ever been up there, up to Lamington National Park, and if you go to the actual O'Reilly's restaurant or cafe up there, that's where the birds are, and you can feed them twice a day up there. There are so many of them, and they even come into the actual cafe. And the top one up here, we were having lunch, and this guy here, he was so cheeky. He tried to get my husband's lunch. It was funny, but yeah. So you have to be sort of careful with that, but you know, it was all good. So this next section, this is the Darling Downs. So this is the map that you get, and you can see how big it is. I think Darling Downs is a better zoo so far. I like the Sydney Zoo, but I gave it a couple points up because it's on a hill, and so you're going up and down on a hill. But Darling Downs, there is a hill there, but it's nothing too major. But Darling Downs, you actually get closer to the animals. There's still a fence between you and the animal, but the animals come right up to the fence. So you don't have to zoom in on the animals. It's much better zoo in my opinion. I've gone there twice and I love it. Right, so this is a little leaflet, and it, oops, there goes the card. It shows you all the animals in there, gives you a bit of a history about the zoo. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's the card. I do have a little pocket here, which I had that in there, but then I took it out and put it over there. And then I just sort of used extra little flower stickers and that. So this one here is one of my favourite photos of Darling Downs, and as you can see, look how well it came out. That's one of the white lions at the zoo. So we've got the lionesses here and here, and we've got the white lion here and here. Oops. Right, so we went up to Hinds Dam, or down to Hinds Dam, a couple of weeks ago, and I got some stuff there. This is actually a bookmark, and it came with this little pocket. So I thought that was so cool because you can keep the bookmark in there and it's protected. It's actually 3D effect in that. And then I just added some flowers in it just to fill up the space. So I know I'm constantly moving this around, I'm sorry, but so this dude here, he's actually the lion cub to one of these females here. These two are twin lionesses, and one of them, I don't know which one, but one of them is his mummy. And his name is Caesar. He actually, I think it might have been the one on the right, but she got pregnant. She wasn't supposed to, but somehow managed. It was a miracle, and she couldn't give birth like normal, so they had to do a cesarean on her. So they called him Caesar after the cesarean. And at the time, he's, I think she said he was 6 months old, or nearly a year. At that time, that was last year. So yeah, that's his little story there. And that's him there. That's how tall he's not quite standing up fully, but, and this one here, these two here, is the tiger, and then we got another lioness up there. And I've got like little sayings around there. Okay, so there's the tiger, closer shot of the tiger, and then the lioness up here. Now we go into the meerkats. Again, you can get close up. That one there is not zoomed in, but that neither is that. So that's how close most, even those two aren't zoomed in. So this is a much better zoom in my opinion. Again, look how close you can get to these animals. They're like, he's right up on the fence there, and the meerkats are right at the window. Again, right at the window, you can watch them come in and out. And look how close I got to the cheetah. I mean, I love this photo as well as this one. It's funny too because when I took this one, he wasn't looking at me, he was looking past me. But in this one, he's looking straight at me. The top one, he's actually looking at the ostriches, which was like directly behind me. They'd come up, waiting for me to come up to them. So that was sort of funny. This one here, there's actually a big lizard here. here and here, the Komodo dragon, sorry. That one's a Komodo dragon, that one was a place monitor, I think it was. And there is another one there. That one there is an alligator, and he's only 7 years old. And I got to pat him down there at the Darling Downs Zoo. So that was fun. And here, there's an alligator in there, and in there as well. So, here we have a tortoise. And then we got 3 more up there. Then we got a snake up here. Now, this is me. I put the flower there because I didn't want my face being on camera yet. But I'm actually holding a python. They asked me whether I wanted to hold the python. I thought, yeah, let's do this. So this is actually me holding a python. It was so cool. So, one day I might do a face reveal, a proper one, but not today. So that was actually pretty cool. We're still in Darling Downs. So there's a snake there. That's his head right there. He's like looking up at me there. There's another snake there. Another snake over there. And another one there. One on the right here is actually sitting up on the log there. And for everyone that has a phobia about snakes, I'm really sorry, but they are so misunderstood. Okay. Now you'll be able to see the difference between the animals from Australia Zoo to Darling Downs Zoo, right? So this one here is not zoomed in. So most of these photos that I've taken here are not zoomed in. That's how close you can get to the animals. They were directly in front of me. That one they were feeding. This one here, he's actually got his tongue out. I caught that just as he did that. Okay. And again, these two here, there's 2 females and 1 male, and they have to sort of separate the females from time to time. So one will have their turn in with the male, and then like say the next day they swap them out, so they're constantly sort of swapping the females out. So yeah. So we got a emu up here. This bird here was so cheeky. He's flapping his wings as I took the photo. And there's the emu there. Rather hot today. Right. So we've got swans here, black swans here. We've got a parrot here, which was really cheeky. We kept tapping on the cage. And then we got a couple of macaques. I think they were called. Macaques. Alright, so this page here is just for the ostriches. This one down on the bottom left here, you can actually put feed down in that tube there, and it goes down there, and then they eat out of the trough there. So there's a fair amount of animals that you can actually feed. So you get a bag of food at the entry point, and then you can go around, and on the map it actually has little hand icons showing you which animals you can feed and which ones, for the ones that don't have the hand icon is the ones you don't feed. So you can feed ostriches, emus, kangaroos, capybaras, and then wallabies, and you can feed the swans. There's a whole range of animals that you can go and feed. So that was pretty good too. You can see the sort of thing that runs down. That's that on that side there. Just put the food in there and it goes down into the trough, and they come over and eat it. Okay. So we got 2 hours here, and then we got that one up there, and we got this dude here in black and white. The former lemur, I think, or monkey. We got the monkeys here, old man here. Yep. Oh. Right, so a couple more of the monkey family here. On this side, this is a white kangaroo albino, or albino, whatever, however you want to say it. But I thought, how odd seeing an albino kangaroo. So if you've never seen one, Darling Down Zoo, you've got them up there. Okay, so left hand side we've got a rock wallaby and some more kangaroos, and there is this little white bit here is another albino kangaroo. Right, so on the right hand side we have a pygmy hippo, and she is such a diva. Apparently she will only come out when she's good and ready to come out. No one forces her out, and you can't make her go out unless she wants to go out. Okay. Diva. The top one there is a zebra. That one is zoomed in because they were very timid back then. Okay, so top left hand there is seals or penguins up there. We have a llama. This is a capybara, and this is me feeding the capybara. And on the left hand side we have that's me, old me, feeding the reindeer, and on the top left is the reindeer as well, and then top right is an antelope. This was supposed to be okay, so this photo here is from Underwater World, or Sea Life as it's called now. So I didn't take many photos of the ones at Sea Life, because when we went there was, so we have a seahorse down here, and then I think it's a scorpion fish maybe. We got Dory, and we got some starfish, some jellyfish. So that's an octopus up there. It's probably a bit hard to see maybe, but a bit closer. So that's the octopus there. Okay, so the next photos here. This one here is bull. These ones here are down at the Queen's Park in Ipswich. There's a free zoo that you can actually go in, and there's not many animals in there, but there are some in there. And this one here, the bull, you can actually, there's a brush on the fence that you can start brushing him with, and apparently he absolutely loves it. There is a water dragon on the ground there, and then we got the goat. And then they have a peacock here. The top one up here is the front view, and he turned around, got the back view. Top one up there is the wedge-tailed eagle. Apparently some arsehole saw it and shot at it, and I think they put in 1 or 2 bullets and left the poor bird to die. I mean, what kind of person does that? It did nothing to this person other than just sit in the tree. Disgusting how people treat animals. But this one here, this is a doily that I got, and I just sort of made it into like a little flip top thing. So yeah. So now we're into SeaWorld. So that's the front of SeaWorld as you're coming up. You got the car park in front of the sign there, and you can go up those steps. So when we went to SeaWorld, it was around just after Corona hit. It wasn't as packed, and they just sort of, well, it was just after Corona, and when everything started to open up is when we went to SeaWorld. And I got to sit next to the seal there. That's me sitting next to the seal. I wanted a padding, but apparently I wasn't allowed, which seems pointless. But yeah. There he goes. The kangaroo that doesn't want to stay up. So they've got like this glass section that you can walk down through a tunnel. You can see all the animals swimming around in the water. So this is the turtle from inside the tunnel. And then we got little Nemo's running around there, clownfish running around there. So this is a stingray on the ground, and then we've got some starfish as well. So this is up on top of the water, and there's a sea turtle there, and we've got a couple of sharks here, here, and here. This is the same shark on all three, just from different angles. But this one here was coming straight at me, and I wasn't scared. I thought it was so cool that a shark was coming straight at me to get that photo. Right, so we got some stingrays here. This dude, he was a very cheeky one, came up and just sort of did what this one did. It just stuck himself on the side. See the face there, and then that's him swimming away, and that's another one on the ground there. This that top one there is a seal, but it's a little bit hard to see. You can sort of make out the outline there. That's another stingray. That essentially that is that, and another one swimming off too, with some extra little quotes along here, like Tuesday, Wednesday. Be nice, be kind, be still, be fearless. So here we have the polar bear. This one's a female, and I think she was like 7 years old at the time. So, and we start getting into the dolphins. So the top one here, this was after the show, and they start misbehaving. They start splashing around. Apparently, because I was down right near the water, like next to the water, and they had come over to me. And every so often, animals will start playing up while I'm around them. They'll start misbehaving, whether that's playing in the water and splashing people, or roaring, or doing lots of other different things I've seen animals do. But yeah, so these three here is when they were doing the show, and this one here was just before, just after the show finished, and he came up to me. So I was in the wheelchair at the time. We got pelicans here. Yep. The pelicans in the bottom there. Penguins there, and one about to jump into the water over there on the top right hand corner. Okay, so we got these are the emperor penguins. And then you got the normal penguins there. There's one of them that you can actually see. You can actually see the egg. Yeah, this one here. He was actually sitting on the egg. The egg's just sort of there. You can sort of make it out. So there's another envelope pocket there. So now we're into the Sydney Zoo. So we've got the sunbird, that's the entrance to it up there. The better way to getting to it is going by ferry. We've got the ferry from Circular Quay up to the zoo. That's the proper better way of getting to the zoo. So here I did take a lot of photos. I've still got heaps on my hard drive of photos that I took at the zoo. I'm trying to position this so you can see the whole. Then we got all different monkeys. There's wallabies there. There's a koala. I'm not sure what those two are. Okay, so this is the place that I saw my first gorilla and monkey, chimpanzee, and elephants at. So down on the bottom right, left, sorry, is two dingoes. They had a few people in there doing the whole get close to the animal here. We have a rock wallaby there. And then this is what the start of the gorillas. And there's two dingoes just up on the top there. They're just sitting on the rocks. So now we start getting into the gorillas. We've got the females there and here. This one's a big silverback. And that. So this one here is a statue, but I thought that was so cool. Kids could stand there, or you could stand there and take a selfie. And then we've got a chimp up there. And then we start getting into the elephants. Now, these elephants aren't at the zoo anymore. They got transported down to South Australia Zoo. But I'm glad that we got to see these elephants before they got transferred over to South Australia. There's another elephant up there as well. So these three pictures of the elephants. Okay, so the seals here, and that's the top left one is the elephant still. So these ones the seals. As you're coming up the first part of the zoo, you'll see crocodiles first, then the elephants, and this is sort of like the beginning of it. So all four of these are seals, as you can see. And we start getting the snakes. This is also the first place I saw the well, we got the king cobra up there underneath the leaves there. There's a red belly black. There's two there. There's that one there, and there's one there. This one here is the rattlesnake, and then that's a python up there. But how cool does this look? And I was facing him. There was glass in front, but you know, still pretty cool. I wasn't scared. I was actually so excited to see these animals. Like, I like seeing animals in the wild, but I also like seeing them in the zoo. Zoo has good points as far as you get to see animals that you wouldn't normally see in the wild, but seeing animals in the wild in their natural habitat is much better, I find. But I'm not anti-zoo, but you know, it's really hard line. There's a very thin line between the zoo and the wildlife. Like, it's better seeing them in the wild, but zoos have that good point where you can see animals that you wouldn't normally get to see up close, except for Australia Zoo, unless you've got a lens. Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled about Australia Zoo and the way they've set up their animal pens. It just, for the price that you pay to get into the zoo, you would think it would be a lot closer than it was. But yeah. And we got another snake there, one there, there's two in there, and then we got the python up there. I think that's, yeah, that was a python. That's the two red bellies from a different angle. And I think that was a taipan. And we got some more snakes here. And we got the king cobra there, but it was all curled up and under leaves. There's a snake up here, and we got the star tortoise there, and then there's two here, but if you have a look, I think I caught them at a very bad time, as you can see. So this dude here was covered in dirt, which was so unusual. We got a tortoise there, and then you got this dude here. This guy was so funny. He was running up and down until I stopped to look at him, and he stopped, and he posed in that position there. Couple of lizards there. More lizards. This is the view that from the bottom right is the view that you would get looking up from the zoo over to Sydney, or the circular quay, that sort of direction. Top one is a scorpion. If you've never seen a scorpion, that's what it looks like. And again, the top left is the view looking up on the top of the zoo. They've got native bee hives around as well. So the bird up here, this one here, is a condor. That's its wingspan compared to the other birds. So it gives you an idea on how big they are. They kind of look like a vulture. If you've ever seen a vulture, that's what the condors sort of look like. So we got this dude here. He moved just as I took that photo. That's why his head's chopped off. I think that's a pheasant. I think. There's another look of the condor. He kept cleaning himself at the time. So yeah. So we have a emu here that was just walking around doing what emus do. And then we've got a little birdie, green birdie on the top there. Okay. Then there's a goat here and a llama. Then we've got this weird animal. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got stripes at the back end of it. And then on the right hand side, we have a tiger here. And then here, this one here always makes me laugh because I imagine him sitting there or her sitting there and saying, is this my good side or is this my good side? So they're like turning from side to side. Which side is my good side? So I've got some lionesses here. There's all these all lionesses. There's only one lion right there. Then I started running out of photos, so I started putting some paper in here. We've got cards here with extra stuff inside. That's another one from the Hinge Dam Cafe. Got like little things inside cards. There's some more cards and some Christmas cards as well. Some vintage paper that I found. More pockets. And these are just little extra things with little tag things in there. Some more of the Christmas stuff. More vintage paper. More cards. This is a postcard of King's Dam, but it's like a 3D effect. I think that looks so cool. Again, it's a snake. Look how cool that is. So cool. This is just a bit more. It's some more pictures inside the cards. So I just sort of tried filling them out. This one, there's 3 actual pockets in here. So something different. I started putting some of these in, just added colour, just to fill in some of the gaps as well. And like extra cards and some of them. There's a little pocket because I did get a magnet that is. So I got a magnet when I was at the Hinge Dam, and that's it there. That's the pocket that came in. I thought that was pretty cool, pretty handy, just to put other things in that. We got some more pockets here and some more like made cards up. This one here, it's got the really cool print inside the envelope. And we have this one that's got like paper inside paper. Another pocket up the top. More envelopes here. Cards with birds. So I tried to stick to like ones with animals in it. We have a little pocket here, envelope, and another here. This one here has got a leaflet on Australia Zoo, and yeah, all their stuff. Yep. Anyway, stickers. This is the last page here. So when I go to the other zoos, I'll add to it here because I've still got the amount of pages to go. So I know this one was a long one. Sort of sorry, I guess. Maybe not. I knew it was a big book. It did take me a while to do. So I hope you guys like the video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. Until next time, fellow travellers. Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you have a good Christmas and a safe New Year. So until next time, fellow travellers, have a good one. Stay cool, stay warm, and have a good day.